We keep circling the same problem. Jalen Hurts hasn't been the player who put Philly on his back last season, and it's starting to feel meaningful, not just annoying. Friday's loss in Chicago wasn't a fluke weather day or a minor hiccup. It was a symptom. 2 turnovers, a handful of missed throws to open targets, and long stretches where the passing game looked rudimentary at best. He finished with 2 late touchdowns that made the box score look prettier than the tape felt. But when the game was in the balance, he was scattershot. And that's the thing that makes this dangerous. You can't divorce quarterback play from scheme, and you can't divorce scheme from coaching. But let's be brutally practical. The Eagles are built to win because of their offense. And right now, the offense isn't winning games. When your play designs look obvious on the screen and your QB is hesitating for the split-second windows that decide deep throws, you have to ask whether it's the plays or the execution. And sometimes the answer is both. Hurts admitted what everyone watching saw. It was 2 guys on 2 different pages. That line matters. It's not just accountability talk. It's a diagnostic. Timing and communication between QB and receiver are the currency of any passing game. When the timing breaks, completions disappear. When completions disappear, drives stall. When drives stall, field position sours and pressure flips to the defense. It's a chain reaction, and we saw it Friday. A drop in early drives, riskier plays later, and turnovers that killed any rhythm. We also saw a pattern of conservative schematic choices that have become painfully predictable. Kevin Patullo's offense has leaned on the same sequences. Short hitches, check down options, and predictable third down concepts that invite defenses to play tight. That may be safe in theory, but safety becomes a handicap if your QB isn't playing with the decisiveness the scheme expects. Hurts needs to be able to trust that receivers will sell routes the same way they practiced, and he needs a coaching staff that simplifies reads when the pocket collapses and expands them when the field opens. Right now, neither side is consistently delivering. Let's talk specifics, because vague frustration doesn't win games. First, the third down problem. Hurts was 2 for 6 on third down pass attempts before the fourth quarter. That's not a fluke stat, that's a situational failure. Third down play design has to prioritize quick, decisive reads and give Hurts a reliable outlet on every drop. If the protection is shaky, build in automatic checkdowns that are higher percentage than the current hitch-heavy menu. If the protection holds, you should have progressive concepts that move from easy to aggressive, not the reverse. Second, the short yardage package. The tush push was neutralized by a play where Nahshon Wright stripped the ball. Hurts lost the fumble. That's a mechanics and ball security drill away from being fixed, but it also reveals a deeper issue. Opponents are scheming counters to what used to feel automatic. If a play becomes teachable, you adjust. Add motion, alter the snap cadence, or dedicate an extra blocker on the ball side. Don't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Third, route concepts. There were plays where receivers were wide open and the ball missed them badly. Hurts blamed communication. He said he wasn't detailed enough in the pre-snap instruction. That's rare honesty from a quarterback, and it's important. The fix here is partly on him. Clearer, louder checks pre-snap, firmer cadence, and partly on coaching. Install fewer, cleaner route combinations so that both the QB and receiver can execute without interpreting 3 different variations on the fly. When your offense returns to simpler, repeatable patterns, timing improves and Hurts can distribute with confidence. Now the personal side. Hurts is the reigning Super Bowl MVP for a reason. Leadership, toughness, and a rare ability to carry a team. This isn't about questioning his heart. It's about performance under pressure. He said, correctly, "I can't turn the ball over." That's a starter's job in December. The mental reset he needs is tactical, not theatrical. Reps in practice that simulate the same confusion he called out, 2 guys on 2 different pages, are solvable if they're prioritized. Ball security and goal line pile work, scripted third down drills with real pass rush timing, and receiver route timing sessions all shrink the window for those mistakes. Coaching must match that focus. Nick Sirianni's decision to stick with Patullo is defensible in the name of continuity, but coaching is judged by results, not intentions. If the offense continues to underperform, Sirianni has 2 practical options that aren't dramatic theater. Take over play calling for a short, clearly defined window and simplify the playbook. or reassign certain play calling responsibilities inside the existing staff so the game plan can be sharper and less predictable. Either move is about accountability and immediate performance, not long-term casting judgments. Fans don't need public firings. They need visible, effective corrections. There's another element we can't ignore: the supporting cast. A.J. Brown's numbers have spiked in recent weeks, and yet the team is 0-2 in that stretch. That's evidence the issue isn't a single receiving target. It's systemic. Protection breakdowns, predictable play calling, and situational failures are all forcing Brown and others into salvage mode late in games. The roster remains elite on paper, but elite players need elite setups. If the coaching staff wants this offense to hum, they must give Hurts cleaner windows, quicker reads, and the variance to attack vertically when the defense cheats up to stop the run. So what does a short-term corrective package look like? 3 things, focused and measurable. First, simplify third down calls for the next 2 games. Script the first 10 offensive plays of each half to build rhythm. Second, redesign short yardage, motion, an extra lead, or a fake and pass counter on 2/3 of those plays to force defenses to defend more than one threat. Third, institute daily, high-intensity situational reps targeting ball security and timing on third down and red zone. Make those 3 changes visible, measurable, and report back within 2 weeks. If completion rate and turnover numbers don't improve, escalate. Here's the bottom line: Jalen Hurts isn't beyond critique, and Nick Sirianni and Kevin Patullo aren't above accountability. This is a group fix that is fixable. The tools are in place: elite weapons, a seasoned head coach, and a quarterback with a proven temperament. What's missing is alignment. Clearer calls, cleaner execution, and urgency in practice that translates to decisive play on Sundays. The fans don't want speeches, they want results. The team can still flip this, but it requires more than "we'll look internally." It requires specific adjustments, immediate practice changes, and a willingness to simplify until the quarterback and receivers find their rhythm again. If that happens, Hurts can be the MVP-level engine this team needs. If it doesn't, this season risks sliding from disappointment into pattern, and that's the real danger. We're just not seeing the Jalen Hurts that we need to see right now. I get that it was cold, and I get that it was windy, and it has been the last few weeks, but we're just not seeing the Jalen Hurts that we need to see right now. And it's getting concerning. He did have a couple late touchdowns to A.J. Brown, but the game was decided by then, and really with games in the balance, he's just been scattershot and inaccurate for much of the last few weeks, missing open guys, making poor decisions. He had a fumble and an interception Friday. This team isn't going to win anything without Hurts playing at an elite level, and lately, he hasn't been close. If you want to know why the passing route design sometimes looks rudimentary, look at Sirianni, Patullo, and their nondescript scheme. But don't forget the quarterback. There are swaths of the playbook that aren't touched because Hurts isn't comfortable with certain concepts. And if you want to know why a group that returned 10 of 11 starters and costs more than any other offense in the NFL is among the worst in the league, look at the men in charge. But if Sirianni and Patullo are to be called out for failing to coach